Shalom from Israel. I'm Avi Melamed, founder of Inside the Middle East ITME Institute. The burst of violence in South Syria in the last couple of days cornered both Israel and the new Syrian regime in a challenging niche. In this video, I'll talk first about the Syrian rule aspect. The new Syrian president, transitional president, Ahmed al-Shara, is engaged in an effort to rehabilitate Syria and put it back on the right track, sort of speaking. However, the burst of violence between Druze and Bedouin tribes in the last couple of days is a quintessential of the challenges that the Shara is facing in its efforts. First, it indicates the fact that the tapestry, the fabric of Syria is very challenging. We are looking at different ethnical groups that for generations share animosities, yet at the same time live side by side. It's a very, very fluid, volatile situation that more than once resulted in a massive collision between the groups. The second thing is the fact that every group in Syria, every ethnical group almost, have its own military might, military weapons, sometimes in the form of paramilitary militias. The third challenge is the fact that minorities in Syria, the Alawites, the Druze, the Kurds, are very suspicious towards the new regime. Let us remember, this is a regime that is coming from the hub of Al-Qaeda and ISIS, radical Salafi jihadi groups. Those minorities are deeply concerned about their fate and future, and to a large extent they have good reasons to be concerned. In addition to that, they feel that they are being excluded from the process of redesigning of the Syrian constitution. Thus, they are looking for means and mechanisms to ensure their survival as much as possible. For them, for example, the idea of federation of Syria could be such a mechanism. The issue is that the Shara rejects totally the idea of federation structure in Syria. And finally, of course, we have to take into consideration that Syria is ruined. Its people are struggling on a daily basis to have the minimum services, given the fact that Syria has been actually destroyed during 14 years of a brutal war in the country. The whole burst of violence in South Syria also is embarrassing al-Shara, because al-Shara was very successfully gaining a lot of legitimacy internationally, including by the United States of America, that lifted all the sanctions, and actually President Trump openly, overtly support al-Shara and his efforts to rehabilitate Syria. That legitimacy enabled the Shara to gain promises or commitment from regional major players that are willing to support him in the process of rebuilding Syria, including international factors. But now the burst of violence, and not less significant, the atrocities encompass that burst of violence, which, by the way, apparently also militants of the rule itself were engaged apparently in some of those atrocities. All those things once again raise to the surface the deep concern and suspicious of different regional and outside of the region factors that are wondering whether this new regime really has departed its radical Salafi jihadi roots. This is an open question, and of course altogether in the end of the day presents Shara and the new rule in Syria with a significant challenge on their efforts to rehabilitate Syria. In my next video, I will explore the Israeli angle of the burst of violence in the south part of Syria. I'm Avi Melamed. Thank you for watching.